Botanical Garden was founded in 1891 and has been an oasis of beauty and learning for generations of visitors. The Botanical Garden encompasses 250 acres and is home to more than 1 million living plants. It is one of the foremost gardens in the world and was named a National Historic Landmark in 1967. Just up the hill on side B, past the large rock outcropping, is the Rock Garden. It's home to an incredible selection of unusual flowers and plants from around the world that are grown in, around, and on rocks, including some of the smallest plants in the Botanical. On side A, you'll see a collection of pines and other cone-bearing plants. That's the Arthur and Janet Ross Conifer Arboretum. There are more than 1,000 pines, spruces, firs, and other conifers in this collection, including many venerable trees planted in the 1890s, right after the garden was established.
Beyond the conifers lies the Botanical Garden's crown jewel, the Enid A. Howard Conservatory, completed in 1902. Inside, you can explore an acre of the flats, a journey that takes you from tropical rainforest habitats to dry deserts. Filled with thousands of plants, it is an absolute wonder and the anchor for the garden's exhibition.
Ahead, at the top of the hill, is the Lester T. Hertz Library building, completed in 1901. In front is a lily-full fountain of light, which was inspired by the Baroque fountains of Rome.
While scientists from across the globe come to the research here, the library is open to everyone. It's a great place to learn more about what you see here at the garden. The library's art gallery hosts several exhibitions each year, which explore the deep connections between gardening and the humanities. You can also visit the science exhibitions in this building to learn more about the work of our cutting-edge researchers.
Take a minute to appreciate the tulip tree LA.
LA is French for tree line wall.
These are tulip trees, named for the green and yellow springtime flowers that resemble tulips. This memorable planting was named a New York City landmark in 2009, along with the library building and fountain of light. According to Garden Lore, the tulip trees planted here came from a single mother tree, which is the largest tree in LA, and is just one of the thousands of trees across the landscape over the garden itself.
The rest of the tulip trees were planted in 1905 under the direction of Lawrence County and Bretton, walking the taxonomist Daniel Ware.
Britton and his wife, Elizabeth Knight Britton, herself a distinguished botanist, were leaders of the movement to create Grand Botanical Garden in New York City in the late 19th century. While on their honeymoon in London in 1888, they visited the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. What they saw inspired them to lobby elected officials and civic leaders to create a public garden dedicated to science, education, and horticulture in the park.
Was successful, and in 1891, the New York State Legislature incorporated the New York Botanical Garden. Soon after, the couple selected the site, which featured a 50-acre old forest surrounded by fields and pastures. In 1895, landscape architect Albert Fox co-designed the Manhattan Center, created a master plan for the garden to allow the planting of beautiful diverse collections while preserving the natural beauty of the landscape. More than 125 years after its founding, the garden staff remained dedicated to preserving the natural and horticultural beauty of the landscape. They care for thousands of mature trees, plant hundreds of thousands of bulbs, annuals, and perennials, mow 75 acres of turf, and clip a mile of hedges to maintain this green oasis in the middle of New York City. Across the Bronx River, originating from Westchester County, extending 23 miles to the East River, it is the city's only freshwater river. Once lines of faculties and mills, but became very clear. Now, thanks to the efforts of conservation organizations, the river is greener than it has been in centuries, and is once again home to a wonderful grand wildlife. Being the next stop, in the Magnolia Collection. This is one of the oldest plant collections in the garden. The birch trees were planted here in the early 1900s, and they flowered in early spring. Magnolias create an unforgettable spectacle. The tree collection is just one of many tree collections in the garden. More than 30,000 trees, ranging from centuries-old titans to newly planted saplings, grow across the landscape. We're now passing through the oak collection, which includes oaks from Europe, Asia, and North America. Oaks are among the most economically and ecologically important trees in the world. The wood is used to build fine furniture and wine nests. Deer, chipmunks, rabbits, squirrels, and many other mammals feast on the acorns. The leaves are an important source of food for the caterpillars and other insects that, in turn, are consumed by many birds found in the garden.
The living plant collections serve the garden's mission as a museum of plants. Scientists and students use these collections to learn about the diversity and adaptability of the plant kingdom. You can visit throughout the year and observe how different species and cultivated varieties change with the seasons. Our curators constantly evaluate the collections and search out interesting new varieties to add.
Just about to pass the green zone at the top of the hill on side A. That's the home of Green Materials Recycling Center, funded by generous public and private donors. It's where we compost all the leaves, grass clippings, spent flowers, and other material generated as we care for the garden. We use the compost we create to improve our soil and feed our plants, which helps to reduce the amount of chemical fertilizers needed to help our plants thrive. On the same hill on side A is the East Gate. This area, which is made accessible by the Ann Covered Bridge, was completely redesigned in 2017. It now provides improved daytime access to the garden for our neighbors and visitors who arrive there by summer. On side B is the cherry collection. Be sure to visit in early April when the trees transform the valley with fluffy clouds of pink and white. Just past the lilac collection is the award-winning Peggy Rockefeller Rose Garden.
Hop off here, and you can wander through the nearly 4,000 roses, ranging from heirloom varieties cherished by French Empress Josephine to modern selections chosen for their beauty, fragrance, and disease resistance. The roses begin flowering in late May, peaking in June and September. In some years, we have even had roses blooming in early December. The garden was designed in 1916 by pioneering landscape architect Beatrix Ferrand, a leader in her profession in the 20th century. Ferrand's vision for the site wasn't fully realized until 1988, when David Rockefeller helped NYBG complete this garden in honor of his wife, Peggy, who loved roses. Entry point to one of the country's greatest collections of rare and unusual garden conifers.
Designed in the late 1940s by Canadian landscape architect Marion Ball, this collection was completely restored in 2004.
Conifers are plants that hold their seeds in cones, like the familiar pine cone used in winter holiday decorations. The Benenson Ornamental Conifer collection includes plants with multicolored foliage, others with weeping forms, and compact and slow-growing varieties. This part of the garden is welcoming no matter the season, from the vibrant greens of spring and summer to the earth tones of autumn to a white blanket of winter snow.
Ahead, where the paths intersect on side A, look for a snake branch spruce, named for the long, slender branchlets that hang straight down from the main branches.
Right across the road, you'll find shade-tolerant dwarf conifers. Dwarf conifers grow very slowly. Some grow less than an inch a year and can take decades to grow only a few feet tall, making them a great choice for any gardener without a lot of space.
We have horticulture legend Sidney Waxman to thank for some of the dwarf conifers here in the garden. Waxman used a rifle to shoot down the cones from irregular formations called witches' brooms, collected the seeds, planted them, then selected and creatively named his favorite seeds, such as sea urchin. It takes 30 years for these diminutive specimens to reach a height of 2 feet.
The New York Botanical Garden occupies was once owned by the family of Pierre Lorillard, who made his fortune in the tobacco industry. Several historic buildings from the Lorillard estate remain today, including the large stone stable on side 8 and the nearby gatehouse, as well as the stone mill. Peter R. McMillan Horticulture Operations Center, the headquarters for the horticulture staff who care for the garden's trees and historic landscape.
We are going to stop on the bridge up ahead, overlooking another scenic section of the Bronx River. As we approach the stop, you can't miss the Lillian and Amy Golden stone mill on side B. The Lorillard family once used this mill to create snuff, a popular alternative to smoking tobacco. Yes, the stuff that made people sneeze. Built in 1840, it is a National Historic Landmark and a New York City landmark. If you follow the path past the stone mill, you can walk beneath a tall bridge that was featured in the opening credits of the New York-based classic, Sesame Street. At the end of the path, you will see the waterfall that helped to provide power to the Lorillard's mill. The arrival of the European settlers, the Bronx River provided food and water for the Lenape people. Later, the river became a vital economic resource for colonial Americans. By the mid-1700s, its steady flow was furnishing hydropower to 12 mills. Here we are at our next stop, the perfect place to take a walk with the famed family forest, with a better look at the daffodils in early spring. Begin a stroll through the azalea garden. Even the azaleas aren't in flower, the azalea garden is a great place for a walk. Mature tulip trees, oaks, and sweet gums cast welcome shade in summer that cools the masses of ferns, hostas, and other shade-loving plants that line the paths. Spectacle reaches its pinnacle in late October. In winter, look out for fragrant witch hazels and clusters of snowdrops and crocus. One of the year-round highlights is the 155-foot tulip tree in the center of the azalea garden.
and visit the NYPG shop. If you haven't yet visited the Enid A. Haupt Conservatory, it's just a short walk from here. Garden members, thank you for your support. We love it when you visit.